Hi, I'm Tony Rice. I'm one of the sports scientists who works with the Australian rowing team. Really great to have your questions that I'm going to hopefully put some answers to today for you. We think that heart rate training is the best way to individualise for certain people on the ergometer. Now, the hard thing is to work out how to get your maximum heart rate. The rough rule of thumb is 220 beats minus your age. But the most accurate way is to record your heart rate during a 2,000 metre all-out test on the ergo, and then take your highest heart rate that you achieve during that. It's important that you don't spend too long on the ergometer, no more than 30 minutes at one single time, and that you do take the opportunity to get off and have a stretch and a move around just so that you can free up that lower back. Any male over 90 kilos, we'd use a drag factor in the range of 130. For lightweight females, the other end of the spectrum, who are sort of around the 55 to 60 kilogram range, we'd use a drag factor of 90. Generally speaking, the higher drag factor that you can handle for 2,000 metres, the faster your time will be. I would suggest that masters athletes would probably fit in the range for males around the 110 to 120 range, and for females in the 100 to 110 range. But generally speaking, the majority of your training should be done at the drag factor that you're going to do your race at, or your 2,000 metre effort at, or whatever distance you're racing over. You should train as much as you possibly can at that drag factor. The progression's dependent on how consistent you are with that training, and with the consistency I'm talking about how many of the sessions do you actually undertake and complete as per the program. Now, generally we're looking for about 90% of the sessions to be completed in the order that they have been written down in. That said, if you add in a few sessions and change them around, as long as it doesn't really affect your consistency, you'll get a good rate of progression. You'd be working a little bit harder on the ergometer than what you would be for the same duration on the water at the same stroke rate. So I actually feel that about a 20-minute erg session is worth a 30-minute on water session. I like to think of a warm-up as being like the first interval of an interval set. You should be breathless and you should be warm and hot, and it should feel hard, because that's turning all the right systems on that will allow you to do the intensity phase of the training session the right way. If you're finding that one training session or one training program is being too hard or too easy, then feel free to move up or down accordingly. But the best thing and the most important thing to anchor yourself on is the consistency of how you're addressing that training program. We'd say that an easier session would be 18 to 22 strokes per minute. A more difficult session might be 22 to 26 strokes per minute. And anything over about 28 strokes per minute is quite intense. And so you just adjust the time at which you could hold those stroke rates for each part of the session.